Let's go!
Let's go, baby!
Welcome back to the Kang Gang Pod. This is episode number 48. The Sacramento Kings just beat the Cleveland Cavaliers for the second time this season.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what, we somehow have the Cavs numbered the last 3 years. I don't know if it's true or not. I feel like we've won 5 out of the last 6, or we've won 6 out of 6.
You're gonna have to pull that up.
I'm gonna have to pull it up. I will during the pod at some point. But I know we swept them during the Beam Team era, so I know we at least 4 out of 6 for sure.
I don't know what it is with that city, but the Kings love playing the Cavs. Whenever, it's just so funny to me. The most unpredictable team does it again.
We do it again. Then not only does the team do it again, Zach LaVine and Domantas Sabonis do it again.
And this was a shorthanded Sacramento Kings team without our best defender, Keegan Murray. Late game scratch, does not show up tonight. I didn't even get to see what happened to him. I'm sure he's injured. He's been playing 40 minutes a game all season, so I'm sure it's catching up to him. But yeah. Oh my God, Trey Lyles steps into the starting lineup, and my goodness. The Kings were controlling the whole first quarter. They scored 31 points in the first, and then they followed up with a great second quarter as well. What I saw was Domantas Sabonis. He said, "I don't care if they got the two Cleveland Towers over there. I'm going in aggressive," and boy did he. He had 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists in the first half. What did you see from Domantas Sabonis? Because I think he was the engine behind tonight's win.
Oh, absolutely. And it started in that first quarter, right? He was very aggressive coming off. He had 9 points in that first quarter, at least 9 points in the first quarter. And you can just tell that the offense was running through him. I think this was the way that you can really win with the team, is having Domantas Sabonis be the guy that is the main person that touches the ball at all times. I think that overall, the Kings did a really good job of moving the ball really well. They were moving with Sabonis, and Sabonis was getting into the rim. It looked like that, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, they're great defenders, but tonight it really showed that Domantas Sabonis' offense was clearly better than their defense tonight.
And what's crazy is Evan Mobley is the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year. Sabonis doesn't care. Like when he is playing aggressive like that, and when the offense is running through him, when he is the hub, which obviously we know how successful the Kings could be when he is getting touches and when the offense is moving. That was what you were saying. The offense was moving. We've barely seen this season, a fun offense from this team. And tonight, it was just like a glimpse from the past. I was seeing so many cuts, even Zach LaVine was cutting. Man. I mean, hey, shouts out Zach LaVine, by the way.
Yes, indeed. It came right after our game, after dropping 37. Zach LaVine, let me ask you a question. How did it feel getting 21 shots up tonight?
I mean, I just got to trust in my team, I mean, they believe in me, so I just got to do the same and believe in myself because, everyone's been telling me, get more shots up. And, I think I'm starting to feel comfortable. I'm starting to feel comfortable out there.
All right, Zach. And then one more question for you. How do you feel like the rest of the season is going to go for you?
Well, for me personally, I feel like I got the green light right now. I feel real hot. I feel real confident. And, although I sleep in a hotel at the Sawyer, I mean, I feel like, there's only 4 games left in the season. Good thing the bed's Tempur-Pedic. I'll be well rested. I'll be ready to go.
All right. Thank you, Zach. Thank you for being here.
I can't believe we got Kyle, Zach, Guy.
I know.
Kyle, Zach, Guy, LaVine.
Shout out Kyle, Guy, by the way. We'll be talking also about the March Madness tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. We'll break that down.
We'll be breaking that down in the end because, my goodness, do we have a tight race right now in our bracket pool?
Oh, yeah. We'll break that down at the end because they call it March Madness for a reason.
Yeah.
But, man, I mean, the fact that the first half, we were seeing the Kings play with pace. We were playing fast. It was what a time to turn it around, because obviously this road trip was not going well. I mean, we were 0-3 to start, and then we get 2 back-to-back wins with Charlotte and now Cleveland. And then tomorrow we go over to Detroit, who just lost, by the way. So, I mean, this would be a good time to catch them, I think the boys are rolling right now. I would love to continue it. But, the way the first half ended, it couldn't have ended any better because Keon Ellis, somehow, some way, half-court buzzer beater, I think that's what sparked that definitely was one of the many sparks of tonight's win as well.
I agree. I mean, Keon Ellis looked great tonight. He was just hitting all of his shots tonight. Every shot that he took, it felt like it was going to go in. Every shot was super confident. I mean, my goodness. You want to talk about confidence? And then the whole team was shooting really well. I know we also didn't have Jake LaRavia tonight either because he's still coming back from his injury too. So we were really, really down to not a lot of wing guys. We had Isaac Jones had some minutes tonight, and he made productive minutes tonight as well. So the next man up mentality, I think that was kind of what was Doug's message for tonight's game against Cleveland, because Cleveland is a team that really is bought into next man up and people coming off the bench. So to match that and match that physicality, I think when you beat teams that are way more physical than you by beating them in physicality, I mean, we swept the Rockets this year basically doing the same thing, which is being the more physical team. This team has potential to be really physical and also be a fun team to move offensively the ball around. So I think this could be an opportunity that the Kings can really, really strike coming into the last week of the season and really, really play really good basketball going into the play-in.
Yeah, I mean, Keon, you said he hit every shot. He didn't really have that great of an offensive game tonight. He only finished with 11 points, but yeah, his field goal percentage wasn't that great, but it was everything else. It was the assists, it was the steals. I mean, he had 4 steals in the first half. I mean, and then he ended up with 2 blocks. So Keon just does a little bit of everything. Although, offensively, I don't think it was Keon's, it was a signature night for Keon in the slightest, but
right.
It was the things that Keon does the best is he does a little bit of everything. Yeah, and then Jake LaRavia, he's been out for like 4 games. He hasn't played a game during this road trip. So I mean, we need him because when he's out there with Keon for defensive purposes, I love the way we look. That just increases our intensity way more. But yeah, the fact that we were able to manage staying neck and neck with the Cavs the whole first half. And then with that buzzer beater, I think that propelled us to that incredible third quarter because we had all the momentum. The momentum completely shifted. I think Cleveland was up around 6 points going into the half, and then we cut it to 1 right at the end with that buzzer beater. And then that third quarter, my God, great things happened. DeRozan, he passes Jerry West for number 26 on the all-time scoring list. I mean, he just keeps climbing. He's chasing, I believe. I mean, obviously Steph is right above him, and then there's. It looks like he might get to within 25 by the end of the season. Maybe it's possible.
Maybe.
If he keeps scoring high 20s, I mean, it could definitely happen.
It looks capable, and he has. I'm looking right now to see if there's any chance that he will most likely pass. I mean, right now, Reggie Miller is.
That's who it was. Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie Miller. Yep. So he has a chance to pass Reggie Miller. This season. So he has a good chance for sure, and I think that this most likely could happen. So
no, it's crazy.
Yeah,
but I mean. Going into the third quarter, Sabonis, he had 19. Levine had 15. Keon with 5 and DeRozan with 8. And then, so it was mainly tonight was just... We've talked about this in the beginning of the season when we were just when Mike Brown was coaching, we were just so heavy on our starters and they were playing high minutes and it was just all on them if we were going to win. And it's funny because that's how we won tonight.
We really did.
Everyone played 39 minutes or more in the starting lineup. And then, I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but the starting 5 scored 110 out of our 120 points tonight, which is just so crazy. But a lot of those points came from the third quarter. We outscored the Cavs 35-22 in the third quarter. And then after 3 quarters, Zach LaVine, Sabonis, and DeRozan combined for 70 after 3 quarters. So, it was a game of the starters tonight. It was the game of our best players doing what we've been asking them to do, and they did it in fantastic fashion. Another crazy thing was just our defense was so good towards the end of the third quarter. We held the Cavs to 8 points in the last 6 minutes of the third, and that's how we were able to balloon the lead to 14 at one point. But then with that buzzer beater at the end of the third, they cut it to 12. So we were leading 91-79 against the best team in the East going into the fourth quarter. And then RT, tell us what went wrong to start the fourth quarter. Because the highs of that third quarter, it was like a Thanos
This is like
Clenched.
the Thanos like
The Thanos snap.
Yep.
And boom. All of the happiness went away within minutes. Like, it was so fast. Talk about it.
Oh my gosh. It was very stressful. The Cavs came out of that fourth quarter and were converting. It almost felt like they were converting every and one opportunity possible.
I think they had 4 in a row.
They had 4 in a row. They had 4 in a row. Yeah, and then they were able to take the lead at 1 at that point.
And then when they took the lead at 1, it was within 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. I was like, well, that was quick. And what's crazy was that's what the Cavs did to us last time we played them in Sacramento. They did the same thing. It's like great teams are able to, click instantly. And they do it at really timely fashions. When they needed to go on a run, they did. And man, the back-to-back 3-point plays was humiliating almost.
It was crazy. And a lot of it was, and this was also in the last game too, Evan Mobley was the catalyst behind a lot of those. I know that we talked about Evan Mobley being Defensive Player of the Year favorite. I believe he should. Draymond Green right now is the favorite, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? All because he said it on media. I firmly believe that Evan Mobley should be the favorite for Defensive Player of the Year.
I think it should be Keon Ellis for the Great Barrier Reef.
Yes.
I like pushing for the guards to get it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's very hard for them to get it, but hey.
If I was a media voter, my vote would be to Evan Mobley. So that's just kind of my opinion. But anyways, yeah, like I said, Evan Mobley, he does it on both sides. And I believe that Evan Mobley is their second guy in their offense. I know that Darius Garland was pretty much in and out of this game as well. But yeah, I mean, just the impact that Evan Mobley has to get an offense rolling is very underrated.
No, yeah, Evan Mobley. I mean, because Darius Garland, tonight we held him to, it was not an efficient scoring night for him. Poor field goal percentage, but that just isn't a testament to our defense. But I think even in the first game we played, I don't think Darius Garland did too much either. But although Evan Mobley was going off, I think all of those opportunities happened because of Donovan Mitchell, which he got injured in the third quarter, and then he comes back in the fourth, which is so crazy to me, first off, because we were talking with Scott Marsh the other day. I'm like, the Cavs, I mean, there's not many games left. They might, rest the guy. But then, like, a guy, like an instance like this where, the playoffs are basically in a week, and their star player gets hurt. I mean, that could have been a disaster for them.
Right.
But then he ends up coming back, and then that's what, sparked their crazy run that they had. I think they were on a 19-4 run. Yeah, that's what it was. 19-4 run in the beginning of the fourth quarter. But yeah, shouts out Donovan Mitchell for playing. I mean, people always say, like, the NBA gets criticized a little bit for resting. I mean, we haven't really seen much resting this whole season.
Not really. Not from anybody. I mean, the only time you really rest players is if you probably maybe towards the last week of the season when you really shut down players. So we'll probably most likely will see that towards the end. We'll see G League guys that will get some run too. So it doesn't really truly start until this week most likely, and probably the Friday, Saturday, Sunday games is when playoff teams will most likely rest and get their G League guys really going. So
yeah. But still, I mean, there's only for some teams only have 3 games left. So I mean, it's great to see that the NBA is I think it's in a great place right now. But yeah, 19-4 run. That's where I got nervous. I was like, oh God. But this fourth quarter, although the scoring outputs, we scored 120 points tonight, it wasn't at the same caliber as the Kings vs. Clippers double overtime thriller game. But it gave me that type of offensive feel where it felt like every single shot from both sides were going in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It's like they went on that crazy run, and then we were in that 5-minute drought where we barely scored, and then DeRozan, Levine, shouts out Levine again because he came up huge tonight.
Shout out Levine in the second half, period. He every shot it looked like it just looked like the volume scoring Levine that we were trading for, that we've seen in the Charlotte game, we've seen in the Denver game, we've seen in the New Orleans game. This was Levine's game where he was just putting up shot after shot, and it just looked like it was like kind of like, get out of the way, let me shoot the ball, I'm on fire, nobody can guard me, right?
And that's what we've been waiting for. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. Obviously, this was his best season in Chicago. It was a little bit of a slow start to begin with his new team, but this is what he's capable of, and this is what we not necessarily expect. The only thing we do expect is for him to, shoot 15 to 20 times a game. That's what we do expect. And when he struggles to get to that, that's where, it hurts the team when he's not aggressive like this. But when he is on a heater like this, there is no one that could be in front of him that he sees, because he lights out. He only missed 6 times tonight. It was crazy. 7 for 11 from 3, 15 for 21 from the game. Zach LaVine showed up tonight. And that's, that fourth quarter eruption was what, caused a big enough separation for us to close out the win. It was a crazy ending, though. Walk us through the end.
Oh, my goodness. Where to start? Because it seems like we always complain about the NBA gods, hating on Sacramento for years and years and years. I will tell you what. There was a moment in the last probably the last 50 seconds, right? That's where it was, the 50-second mark, where Donovan Mitchell got fouled on a 3 by Keon. It was actually towards the end. But then they were looking at 2 things. The refs were looking at 2 things. One, they were looking at a layup that LaVine had where it was supposed to be a shot clock violation. So
it was so close.
From the replay standpoint, he didn't get the ball up in time. So,
but they didn't. I don't think they're allowed to review.
They're not allowed to review it.
But they showed it up on the big screen.
Yeah, and that was a miss from the referees.
Yeah.
But
we'll take it. We'll take it.
We will take that.
The Kings gods showed up tonight.
They did, because it would have been 116 and 113. But it doesn't matter anyways, because Donovan Mitchell steps out of bounds before the foul.
The back heel. You always got to be careful of the back heel, RT.
Yes, always be careful.
You don't want your back heels touching the line.
No, that white line over in Cleveland, it is sneaky. It's a sneaky little line. And, you want to talk about being lucky on both sides there? Like, dang, that would have been an opportunity if it didn't go our way. That would have most likely, we would have gone into overtime at that point.
And imagine the situation where it was a repeat of history, where a close game, we fouled the 3-point shooter and he made it. Just imagine.
Well, we kind of did that this year.
No, I'm saying that's why I said repeat of history, because it happened. We'll get into it, because we play the Pistons tomorrow, so we'll get into that conversation in a second. But the fact that 2 things went our way, the Zach LaVine, which was a beautiful move, by the way. He is so quick. De'Aaron Fox, by the way, was on the Deep 3 podcast and was asked who are the fastest players at each position, and he said Zach LaVine at the shooting guard. And for that reason, we saw with with 1.5 seconds, he's at the 3-point line. Even Katie Christensen said on the broadcast, most guys would have shot it there, but he was able to get to the rim, even though it could have, been a shot clock violation.
Right.
Just the fact that he got there and made it so close where the refs didn't even call it. That just shows his speed, which is a very underrated part of Zach LaVine's game.
Shout out to Deep 3 and shout out to De'Aaron Fox. It's a really good interview if you guys want to check it out. Totally would recommend it.
And it's shorter than I was hoping. I thought it would be longer. Too. Only 28 minutes. Yeah. Come on.
I know. I think it might just have like a longer one, but we'll see.
Yeah, but anyways, that final minute was crazy, because what RT was talking about with that Donovan Mitchell play, that was their 4th offensive rebound.
Yeah.
It was insane. It's
offensive rebound. Garland 3, miss, offensive rebound. I don't know who shot the last one. I don't know if it was Strus or somebody. Strus. Let's just say Strus. Miss. And then Mobley, offensive rebound. And then he kicks it to Donovan Mitchell in that corner. Pump fakes past and then gets fouled. They review it, and it's an overturn out of bounds.
I was shocked when they overturned it, because I was just assuming, it was going to be 3 free throws and be a 2-point game with 6 seconds left. That's what I assumed was going to happen. But man, oh man, you always gotta watch your heels. You gotta watch your back.
Watch. Just gotta watch. Just ask Kevin Durant.
I know Kevin Durant would know best, but that's how the Kings secured a huge win when the Cleveland Cavaliers could have clinched the number 1 seed with a win tonight. And then now they got to keep playing their guys to get one more win to do it. But the fact that the Kings were able to upset the Cavs twice this season at such a crucial time, unbelievable basketball. You were talking about how Evan Mobley and Jared Allen are just so dominant in the paint, how they could just get offensive rebounds like that. They dominated us in the paint tonight. They scored 68 points in the paint. That just shows, that the two bigs in the NBA can work. And the fact that Valanciunas only played very little minutes in the first half and then didn't play at all in the second half. When they got the two bigs, we did not counter. We go with, our smaller lineup.
Right.
And I think maybe the game plan was, the Cavs weren't hitting their threes like they normally do. Let's just let them score in the paint, and then we hopefully outshoot them. I don't know. I think it was just a incredible win. I think Doug Christie did an amazing job coaching tonight. Shouts out. They said his name on the broadcast, but he wears the glasses. He's the guy that keeps track of the stats, and he's the one that always waves the finger when it's time to challenge calls, because he went 2-0 on challenges today, and those were crucial challenges. One was that Sabonis offensive foul with the elbow, which, man, they call him on that all the time. I'm so glad that got overturned. And then the other one,
I think that was the Devin Carter one.
No, Keon Ellis. Yeah, Keon Ellis. Was it Keon? I don't know, but either way,
was it in the second quarter?
It was in the fourth quarter.
Oh, in the fourth quarter. I thought they had won another one. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Yeah, they won two though. They won both. It was crazy, but the fact that we shot 53% from the field tonight, 42% from three, compared to their 26% from three. Cleveland's one of the best shooting teams in the NBA, and we only made 4 more than them, but the percentage difference is crazy. Yeah. 42% to 26. Mm-hmm. Another thing, I don't know what it was in Cleveland, but they could not hit a free throw. They were 11 for 19, 58% from the charity stripe, and we were 82%. So that was another huge thing. But the biggest thing that I believe that contributed to the fast pace, to the style of offense that we were playing, was the points off of turnovers. We had 37 points off of 16 turnovers. Even though we turned over the ball more than them tonight at 17, we were scoring off of theirs. And yeah, we had 19 fast break points as well. So we were playing fast. We were, and Zach LaVine even said it in the post game. He was like, "We're figuring out how to play fast." And I was like, finally.
That's huge.
Finally.
It's huge.
Yes.
That's huge. And another thing I want to mention, too, is we did a really good job of keeping Jared Allen off the glass. He only had 5 rebounds today. And, he did a really good job of just being able to really take control of we really did a great job of neutralizing Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, because those guys can easily get double-doubles, right? And we talk about it. They both average 9 rebounds a game. And when you're able to keep Jared Allen off the board for 5 rebounds, that is how you win basketball games. Because we tied them in rebounds today too. So which
is insane.
Yeah, it's insane because they're one of the top rebounding teams in the NBA. And right now we're like in the middle of the pack somewhere. but that's how you get it done. That's, like I said, let's talk about Sabonis. 9 rebounds from Sabonis. Trey Lyles had 8 rebounds tonight.
Yeah, that was huge for Trey. And
then Malik Monk had 7 rebounds as a 6'1" guard. Off the bench, and he only played 20 minutes tonight. And Malik, let's talk about the stats real quick. Yeah, Malik only finished with 8 points. He was 1 for 8 from the field, but those 7 rebounds, that was huge for him. Like I said earlier, 110 points from the starters, 10 points from the bench. 8 of those were from Malik, 2 was from Jay Val. DeRozan had 28 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. Trey Lyles, 7 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals. Sabonis, 27, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals. Keon Ellis, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, and 2 blocks. And then the Kang Gang player of the game, Zach LaVine, baby.
37 points on 15 from 21 from the field, 7 for 11 from deep.
That's a great sign. 7-11 from deep. It shows how many shot attempts he's taking. It shows how much aggression he has. If he can continue like this, the sky's the limit, man. Like, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan we've both seen it before. DeMar DeRozan specifically. They both know how to take over games. And if they look like they're the more comfortable team out there tonight, and those two are on their game offensively, I think we can pretty much outbeat anybody in the next 4 games. So that's going to be very huge for us. If they continue to be hot during that stretch, watch out. That's all I got to say.
I know. I have a fun stat for you. The Kings are 30-9 when they are leading going into the fourth quarter. 30-9.
That's huge.
So, I mean, and I think that's probably a lot of those losses might have been in the beginning of the season when we were losing all of those clutch games.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that against a great team like this, I mean, coming at a great time, we play Detroit tomorrow, then we play
Denver on Wednesday.
National
TV game, by the way. And then we play the Clippers on Friday, and then Phoenix on Sunday. And
yes,
it looks like because Phoenix lost today as well. So right now we are 2 games up on Phoenix. Their schedule.
I think we're 3. Are we 3 games?
No, we're still
at 2?
We're still 2. Yeah, we're still 2.
I thought we gained a game since we won.
We are still at 2. But we're at 3 actually.
That's what I thought.
No, because the whole thing is they still have like tiebreaker though control because they have the better division record. Yeah, I know. Which
dumb.
But
thank you, Scott Marsh, by the way, who told us that. If you haven't listened to our Scott Marsh episode, we loved it. I thought it was so much fun hearing those incredible nostalgic stories. We talked about obviously the current team, the future of the team, and then we talked a lot about the past. And he worked for the team or covered the team for almost 30 years. So if you haven't listened to that, that is our episode number 47, the previous one. You should watch that. And if you're feeling nostalgic or if you want to just hear his personal stories, give that a listen. But
yes,
and it's his birthday today, and it's also
my mom's birthday today.
Lisa
yes,
McGovern. Lisa McGovern. That's RT's mom. Lisa McGovern. That's RT's mom. Happy freaking birthday.
Happy birthday to them both. Happy birthday, 4-6. Thank you. My mom turned 65 today, and so it's
65, looking 45.
Yes,
let's go.
Exactly. That's her mantra. So as the queen she is, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, so we're gonna clip this and send it to her, because she has to see this. But yes, like you said, we're 3 games ahead of them against Phoenix. We leapfrogged over Dallas, so we're back to the 9th. We're back to the 9th, which means if we hold the 9th, we get a play-in game in Sacktown, which would be so fun.
That'd be great. I would love. We'll be there.
We'll be there for sure.
I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday. I think I don't know the schedule that well.
Hasn't come out yet, but
no.
We're only a half game above Dallas, so hopefully we could just keep winning these games, stay above Dallas. But unfortunately, I think Phoenix. It's not looking good for them.
No, their schedule is so hard. They played the Golden State on Tuesday and then OKC the following day.
God.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain if we win tomorrow, we're locking in the play-in spot. So I feel really confident about that going in. So
I love a confident team.
We'll be playing basketball, baby. So Hey.
I put out a poll on the Kang Pod Instagram. If you're not following that, you gotta follow it. Anyways, put a poll about where do you think the Kings will end up, and this was right after the All-Star break. And I don't have my phone with me, obviously, because we're recording. But a majority, I think it was like 60 or 70% of people said that we're going to finish in the play-in, and only like 10% of people said that we were going to fall out of the play-in, and then like the remainder 20 or 25% said that we would be in the playoffs. So I think as a fan base, we were anticipating making it to the play-in, so I'm glad that that is the reality, because like we know, the West is tough. So
but there's a path.
There is a path. There's always a
path, fellas.
There's always a path. You got to get that path. Okay, so now we got to talk about the remaining 4 games.
Goodness.
The last time we played the Detroit Pistons was in Sacramento, and I think we all remember what happened. De'Aaron Fox fouls Jaden Ivey on a corner 3 and 1 to lose the game. And not only did we lose the game and go on a 6-game losing streak, we lost Mike Brown. So when we played Detroit, though, we up until the final 4 minutes of that game, we were playing great basketball. Obviously, I think Detroit is better than they were at the beginning of the season versus how they are now. Like we said in the last episode, they've tripled their win total, which is insane. They're rolling right now. Malik Beasley just hit his 300th three-pointer for the season, which is insane.
Wait, what?
300 threes for Malik Beasley. And RT should know because we played 2K.
Yeah,
we played 2K, and I scored a 50 ball with Malik Beasley, which is crazy. Anyways. But let's talk about the Pistons. Talk about the Pistons, RT.
Yeah, I think that game against us really started their magical season, right? And I think it reflects a lot because talking about how our magical season really began. I always look at the game where Kevin Huerter hits the game winner against Utah, and we break like the sound barrier, the fans' loudest moment. I think that's kind of around that similar timeline too.
Yeah,
it was in December.
Of the season,
yeah, it was like it was at the end of December. So, I think that this team has been really good. Cade Cunningham, favorite for most improved player of the year, rightfully so. What he's been doing on a team that has been really good, probably might get all NBA nod too, maybe.
Wow.
So
third team would be huge for Detroit.
Yeah, third team I think he'll get some mentions for sure. So I think this team really does a good job. I mean, Asar Thompson, he's an athletic guy. Cade Cunningham. I know that Jaden Ivey is coming back very soon. The guy
he is?
He might be coming back very soon. Yeah, I don't know if he's coming back. I don't know if he's coming back for playoffs or for the last week. So they might be ramping him up very shortly. But this is a team that's going to be really. Yeah. Oh well, he's out till May 1st. So if they make it deep in the playoffs,
okay.
Yeah, if they make it deep in the playoffs,
he had a really sad injury, but.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he could be something. I mean, Jalen Duren is averaging 10.4 rebounds a game, which is crazy. And he is a guy that's going to be really good. He's going to be questionable going into tomorrow's game with a leg injury, so maybe he'll catch up on rest. I mean, Tobias Harris is also going to be questionable with a heel injury. So, I mean, it's doable.
Hey, is there anything else?
That's it.
What about Jake Larry? Is Jake Larry going to play tomorrow?
Well, we'll find out about Keegan Murray tomorrow too, because we'll find out. But that team just has shooting. That team is very good at shooting. I mean,
you know what they have more than just shooting? They have grit.
Yeah,
that team is a tough team. I mean, Isaiah Stewart. I mean, that guy loves the tussle. That guy loves getting in fights. Honestly, I think it would be good for our team to get into like an altercation tomorrow. I mean, hey, no finger gun pointing, Well, hey, no malice at the palace either. We don't want that. No. Hey, I think it'd be good for the team to, go through a little bit of more adversity. I want to see the boys get into, I'm not saying to get in a fight with them, but I want them to match the physicality, if not like be even tougher than them. That would be great. I mean, yeah, like you said, down the line, they have a solid team. I mean, they remind us of the Beam Team era.
Exactly.
Excellent 3-point shooting, tough team, fun team. Speaking of fun team, we were talking about how the Kings bench just like, they sit on the bench, they cheer a little bit. But tonight they were standing up for a majority of the fourth quarter, which was awesome. But that's like what Detroit does. And, the Motor City loves their team so much. And I think this has been a complete magical season for Detroit. So it's not going to be easy tomorrow. Always games on the road are never easy.
No,
but Detroit,
even on a back-to-back, it's going to be very, very tough for them.
Yeah, and Detroit, obviously, they're probably like very strategic about how they want to play this end of the season, because based on potential matchups, with only under 5 games left, they might, want to really win this game to, maybe, I haven't really checked the East standings. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I know they're standing at 5th right now. I don't know if they could get to 4th, but I mean, who knows? Obviously, if you get to 4th, they're going to be playing. They'll be hosting a playoff series, which would be huge for them. So they probably want to win this game really, really bad. So obviously, we gotta just match. If not, I think we just gotta be more aggressive and more tougher and I think that's the recipe for success tomorrow. But we cannot let Malik Beasley be shimmying on us tomorrow. RT, give me the Malik Beasley shimmy celebration.
No, I'm not going to do that. No, I'll pass on that. I saw it on 2K last time when I played Cristo. So that shimmy gives me nightmares now.
But just imagine this though. Imagine this. Imagine Malik has a bounce back game after the bench. He gets a corner three right in front of the Detroit bench. He hits the three.
No, I'm not watching.
In front of the bench?
Not watching.
In front of the Detroit bench.
Not watching.
Why would you not root for Malik to give it back to
Wait,
Detroit?
we talk about Malik. Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
No, I thought you were talking about Malik Beasley.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Malik.
I thought you were talking about Malik Beasley. Dude, I was like...
talking about Malik Monk.
I thought you were talking about Malik Beasley this entire time.
Let me start over then.
Gosh.
Malik, I gotta say the last names. Malik Monk off the bench.
Yes.
Corner three in front of the Pistons bench. Hits a three. Looks at the bench.
Yes, that's what I'm glad we agree now. That's because you got to remember, because now we're playing against the other Malik. Now there's no more. Oh, it's like we have only one Malik, and that's Malik Monk. No, we got to go against Malik Beasley, and I believe that's going to be the matchup of the game tomorrow. Which Malik is going to be better, and what Malik are we going to see? Because I know Malik Monk, he's come off an injury. He hasn't been shooting the ball as of great. He's been really struggling. Again, we talked about it. Not really shooting at a very solid clip right now. I mean, he's been really, really, really struggling. So if the Kings, I think, want to win this one, he's got to be the guy that can really step up, because a Malik that is able to be this 20-point scorer off the bench, that plays valuable minutes down the stretch, gets guys involved, gets Domantas Sabonis on pick and rolls, is able to, find open guys, be that playmaker for this team. The Malik Monk that we've seen and we're accustomed to, if we get that tonight, I really like our chances against Detroit.
Yeah, so I think the better Malik is going to be the better team. I don't think we're going to beat the Pistons tomorrow if we only have 10 points off the bench. I think we need to have... I mean, you can't expect to win a game with only a 10-point bench scoring night, but tonight was different. I mean, I don't think they're going to score 110 again tomorrow, but, I mean, you never know with this team.
So unpredictable, man.
That's been the theme of the season. They're just extremely unpredictable. But... I think if we want to win tomorrow, Malik has to have a big night off the bench, because that just gets everyone going. Like he's a difference maker for helping everyone on the team perform better.
And not only that, Detroit's bench is very, very deep, and I think that's what makes this team also really good too. You have Ron Holland off the bench, their rookie. He is fantastic. Marcus Sasser, another guy that comes off the bench. Isaiah Stewart, we already talked about him too.
Sasser's dad played for the Kings back in the day. Crazy.
Yeah, crazy story, But, that bench is very, very deep, and you cannot take Dennis Schroeder. I know he's like starting right now, but once Jaden Ivey, if they make a deep run, comes back, Dennis Schroeder comes off the bench and is able to give you productive minutes. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very, very, very tough game. You have to be the more physical team going into this Detroit game. And that's how we're going to have to beat this team, is just by exactly doing that. We'll see if Jalen Duren or Tobias Harris plays tomorrow. So that will be something that you have to monitor going into tomorrow's game. And so Detroit's bench is 9-10 guys deep. And right now we're only, 8 or 9 because Keegan's out. So
and Laravia.
Yeah, and Laravia too. So, you have to, hopefully our guys are healthy. Most likely Keegan plays tomorrow. We'll see about Laravia, and we'll just go from there.
But the thing about tomorrow's game is who wants it more. It doesn't matter if they don't have Durant. It doesn't matter if they don't have Tobias. We've lost to the Wizards before, so it doesn't matter who's on the opponent. It does not matter who's on.
That's true.
Who's wearing those jerseys tomorrow. It's how we play. I mean, we dictate our results. I mean, if we don't play aggressive, we don't play with heart or energy, we're not going to win. So I mean, those are the three. We just got to play with those. And the last time we played the Pistons, they had Killian Hayes on their bench, so they're a much different team now. So I mean,
maybe that's how it all started. Is Killian Hayes is now in Brooklyn, and so that probably.
But he was out the league the majority of the league after that. But Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game, but we cannot let, this past Pistons history repeat itself. We got to take care of business. So last order of business, March Madness bracket. Whoever wins, because everyone has a different name. We don't know how to reach you guys. So first and second place, can you DM us the Kang Pod on Instagram? That Duke game was crazy. So I got to tell a story really quick because RT, he had like a different type of energy yesterday when I was texting him about the Duke game, and I was like, RT, like, I know you love making brackets and stuff, but like the bracket that we're in together, I mean, it's a free bracket and it's not really for us to win it. It's for other people to win it. Like, what's the issue? And then he sends me a ticket stub, and the ticket stub. So tell the story from there. So when did you place this bet?
So we actually went to Tahoe to celebrate our friend Jiho's birthday.
Oh, that's when you did it?
Yeah, that's when we did it. Yeah, that's when we did it. So I placed this future bet. And usually how future bets work is that when you place it, you get specific odds on teams to win the national championship. And I really believe that Duke was going to be the team to really beat. They had freshmen. Cooper Flagg is incredible. They have 2 other 5-star guys that are most likely going to be lottery picks as well. Really good veteran guards like Tyrese Proctor. And, this team was really, really deep. And, they had a really, really good team. They looked unstoppable on offense. They had the number 1 Ken Pom in history. If you are a college basketball savant, Ken Pom is a really, really valuable stat that tracks national champions. And it's a crazy stat that every time that a team is like in the top 20 in Ken Pom is going to win a national championship. But I felt really confident going in this season, and what I did was it ended up losing. And
but tell the people how much you bet and what you could have won.
So I bet it about $100 responsibly, and this was a plus 800 bet. And I got it at plus 800, which is pretty good odds for.
That's crazy.
Which is really good odds, and that's really good. I don't know. I can't remember if it was Auburn that was at top, but anywho. Plus 800 is really, really good. And I placed it in November. I felt really good. Wrote it the entire season. It was like, all right, we're just going to keep on going with this. It felt really good. And my shout out to my buddy Trenton. He's a big diehard Duke fan too. So
he's a big Marvin Bagley Duke fan too.
Yeah, he's also big. Yeah, just kidding. But no, we really rode this together. And up until the Final Four, what I did was they played Houston. Houston's a really, really hard matchup. And I actually hedged my future bet. So what I did is I hedge a bet, and you take the other team. Because, at that point, when you're expected to make $900, you can cut like some of your money back and somehow take your money back in case if they lose the way Duke did.
Very smart move, RT.
It's a smart move. And, I got Houston at plus 205, was able to get my money back, but it's not the story about it. It's about the morals and the despair and the sadness and the way that Duke lost really, really crushed my soul. And
so now that's why I was like, now I see why RT has such a feeling about this game, because there's so much money on the line. I can't believe you almost could have won $800 from that game.
900 because I would have gotten $100 back too. Yeah,
so insane. I mean, if you guys didn't watch that game, wow, that game was wild. I mean, the fact that they went on an 11-1 run to beat Duke, and then Duke was ice cold. They couldn't score. They couldn't throw a rock in the ocean in the last 7-8 minutes.
They also turned the ball over too. So,
but that foul on Cooper. I mean, that's not a foul. That's not a foul.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. And and then him missing that turnaround.
That would have been a legacy shot right there. I mean, obviously he's gonna have a great NBA career. Obviously, he's still gonna get drafted number 1, but it would have been so cool to see Duke.
Yeah.
And I mean, because now, that's who you wanted to watch in the championship game, is Cooper. You wanted to see that. But
I will tell you this, though. Houston's a very good defensive team. They've talked about it all year. Defensively, they hang their hats really high. Elite 8 performance against Tennessee. They really shut down Tennessee. And their whole thing was they were just grit. They played with so much grit the entire time. And going to the national championship game, Walter Clayton Jr.,
Oh my god,
he's
like projected like late second round, which is crazy.
I think
this might have helped his case.
I think his name will get called in the first round.
But it's crazy because I was like looking at all the the mock drafts just to see like where these guys were placed. They had like 4 Duke guys getting drafted next year, which is crazy. And then they had he was the only guy. What's his name? Clayton Jr.
Yeah, Walter Clayton Jr.
I was surprised that he was so deep in the second round. But if he were to go deep second round, that means that he'd probably go to like a really good team.
Yeah,
which would be crazy because he looks ready. He looks that guy looks like he's not the tallest guard, obviously, but I mean that guy's a good player.
Yeah, he had back-to-back 30-point performances in a March Madness game. The last person that was able to do that was Larry Bird. Yeah, back-to-back 30-point performances, which is a crazy stat.
Whoa.
I think tomorrow's game will be fun.
Yeah.
I will be pulling for Florida. Florida has been due for a national championship. I mean, they've won 2 back-to-back national championships in basketball in 2006 and 2007 when they had Al Horford and Joakim Noah. And I really like Florida, but this is going to be a close game. Houston is a very good defensive team.
I love Houston's coach. Did you see the way how he rallied his guys when it looked almost impossible for them to win last night?
Right.
And then the way he was running up and down on the sidelines, and even when they got the technical foul from the guy tipping the ball out of the inbound player's hands, and they stuck together, and he like rallied these guys to win against. I mean, if you were to bet on the game in the final, minute and a half, you'd probably win $1 million.
Yeah. God.
I mean, they were not supposed to win that game.
And Duke was up by 9 with a minute and a half left, and
an all-time fumble, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But God, what a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
What a fun game to watch.
I mean, if you're Duke though, that collapse is up there in sports history as one of the worst collapses of all time.
And all of the commentators after the game were saying, like, I have never seen anything like that. And I was like, I'm so glad that I was watching these games. They were crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm just very sorry, Archie, you didn't get to win the big bucks.
That's all right.
If I knew that going in, I would have been cheering extra hard for Cooper Flagg that game. But,
I know.
I mean, he still had a great game.
He had a great game. He had 27.
I know.
Which was...
should have been 29.
Yeah, I know. Oh, but we move on, and if there's a lesson in all this, hedge your bets.
Yep. Yes, RT.
Yep.
So thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna record another pod again tomorrow after the Pistons game. We have to end the pod now because it's time for us to watch the finale of White Lotus. Thank you again for watching episode 48, KGP. To the moon. We love you so much. Thank you again for always supporting us, and have a wonderful rest of your night. And we're posting this today. It's going to be a late night pod. It's going to come out around like 8:39. Ha! We love you. Bye.
Let's go.
Oh, wait, Zach. Huh!